This is Suzuki Volume 1, Gavotte by Gossec, the last song in Suzuki Book 1. This is a practice video, so I'm going to play it at a practice tempo, slower tempo, and I'll talk you through it and stop here and there. We're in the key of G, so most of this piece is in the upper octave of G. So we could practice the G scale starting 3 on the D string. Remember, G has F sharp and not C sharp. And a low 2 there on the E string for the note G. And I used open strings on the ascending scale and fourth fingers on the descending scale. So Gavotte starts on the note D, third finger on the A string. It says it's in cut time, which is a fast 4, like in a big 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, or however fast you want to play it. We're just going to play it in regular 4/4 time because we're playing it at a slow tempo. Okay, measure 2 there has this. F sharp to G. The F sharp is the grace note. And then we go back to that note. Going on, lift the bow for another down on C natural. We're in measure 3. And again, notice on measure 4, we have a grace note of C sharp. First an open A, and then C sharp, going to D. Keep that third finger down. We're on line 2. Grace note. Lift the bow. Another grace note. C sharp to D. All right, look in measure 7. The fingering on that C sharp, above the C sharp it says 4, below the C sharp it says 3. The 3 would be a high 3, reach, and that's actually what I prefer to do. If you use a 4, it's a low 4, the same place as D flat. That's using a low 4. That's using a high 3. So your choice, my personal preference is definitely the high 3. Going on, measure 9. All right, measure 10, the 3/4 notes. F sharp is high 2, open A, and then low 2. Going on. Lift the bow, fourth finger. There was a little retard in that measure. We lift the bow, going on at the piano a tempo, back to original tempo. Yeah, so another grace note there. In the measure that says piano a tempo, there's an F sharp, then a C natural, and then an F sharp. So you need to be sure the F sharp is the high 2. Here is that measure, it's measure 16, 15, measure 15. high 2, low 2 on the A string, high 2 on the D. Yeah, so be careful of that. All right, we go on to measure 17. Here we have quarter notes with lines over it, so not staccato, legato. And cantabile means singing. Pretty straightforward, going on. That's probably the hardest measure of the whole piece. There are 16th notes in it. The first set of 16th notes has a C sharp, and then the next set of 16th notes has a C natural. And then we have 8th notes. High 2. All right, I'm going to show you how I practice measure 20. I like to practice it in rhythms. Well, actually, first let's practice it separate bows, and I'm going to show you what I do. When I put my 4th finger down for the note E, at the same time, I slide my 2nd finger back. It's kind of hard to do, but it's the only way to prepare for that C sharp. So when my 4th finger goes down, my 2nd finger moves to C natural. And add your open A ending note. So I've practiced that at least several times, 3 times, until you can do it. 4th finger goes down and 2nd finger moves to low. And then try it in rhythms. We'll do long, short, long, short. Okay, so notice when my 4th finger went down for the E, my 2nd finger went to low 2 at the same time. And that was a long, short rhythm. Let's do short, long. If you practice those 2 rhythms several times over and over, it will train your fingers for those patterns. Now, I played it separate bows. You'll also need to practice it in the slurred pattern. That was the long, short, slurring 4 16th notes together. And here's the short, long. Okay, so keep going on that, and eventually that will clean up because you're training your left hand fingers. All right, going on, measure 21, we have piano. Notice we had the up, up on beat 2, and the same thing in the measure, next measure. Going on, next line, we lift the bow. Now we're on C natural. So we go back to staccato, lift the bow, going on. And notice on that measure, we're starting out with a low 2 for C natural. High 2 for F sharp. Watch out for that. Bottom line. Okay. In measure 29, make sure you play 4th finger for the E. 4th finger. natural. Now we have 2 quarter notes, both up, with a stop in between. That puts you at the frog of the bow, and then you have 2 pizzicato notes. For the pizzicato notes, keep holding your bow like this. Turn your bow so that it's parallel to the floor. So we were like this. Go like this. Stick your finger out and turn a little bit. Okay, let's do that again. So you have 2 up bows. You're right at the frog. Do this. Do this. Stick your finger out and pits. And then you're still holding the bow the way you do when you play arco with the bow. Notice at the end it says DC al fine, da capo al fine. So it goes back to the beginning, and then you play about halfway through the piece to the fine. Also, there are some repeat signs here and there that I skipped while I was doing this practice video. In performance, you may or may not want to do those repeats. Using all the repeats makes it a pretty lengthy piece, so it's, in my opinion, optional. All right, that's it for Gavotte by Gossec.